Hi, this is Dr. Brenda with the Corner Bench. And yesterday I did my B equals behavioral health portion of my BEERS. B-E-E-R-S, behavioral health, emotional health, economical health, relational health, and social health. So I started with the B. And yesterday I was on my way to do my procedure, so I didn't get a chance to finish. And during that session yesterday, I kept saying that I am a project. I'm a project because with behavioral health, I'm wondering what I can do to improve my behavior. I talked about that yesterday, and I would encourage you to go back to the other recording if you didn't get a chance. It was a long recording. I didn't intend it to be that long, and this one won't be as long, but I wanted to have substance in it. So looking at me as a project, because if I'm trying to be behaviorally healthy, I want to make sure that the things that I do to myself, what I'm allowing others to do to me, I just want to make sure that I'm healthy in the process of it. So I'm going to define for you what a project is. A project is an undertaking carried out by an individual or collaboratively, possibly involving research or design that is carefully planned to reach a particular goal. And when you're talking about your behavioral health, you want to look at yourself as a project. And I said yesterday that with a project, I'm always starting something, I'm in the middle of something, and I'm ending something. So in every area of my life, I'm trying to cover. We always got something to work on about ourselves. So yeah, we are a project. So and I'm going to say I am a project. If it's something that you feel like, oh, I'm not a project, you shouldn't say that. I'm a project. And if you feel as though there's something in this that can benefit you, by all means, embrace it and take hold to it. Take hold to it and use it for your betterment. Use it for your improvement, for your increase, I like to say, for your big you up. Big you up. Do something to big you up. And you can big you up by improving your behavior. And I said yesterday, improving your behavior is not necessarily based on what other people are measuring your behavior on. It's based upon what you know in your heart you want your behavior to be like. And if it's not matching what it is you like, then at that point you need to do some things to change. You need to do some things to improve or to adjust. Sometimes our behavior just needs to be adjusted. Instead of yelling to the top of our lungs, maybe we take a moment, pull back, and be able to think about what we say before we say it, to avoid how we handle people, whether we want to hurt their feelings or avoid hurting their feelings. So there's a lot of growth that we each need to do. So I said, in implementing or being a project, there are 4 areas where I'm going to talk about. And these are the same areas of a project that people use when they're changing one room to the next, when they're moving one office from one building to the next. So there are projects going on all the time. And in the midst of being a project, you have to have a plan of action, right? What is your blueprint for yourself, for your behavior, for your life? What's the blueprint? What are you going to follow to be able to say, I'm basing what I do, what I believe, what I feel, even how I conduct myself. Even how I conduct myself. I just got rid of my gum. But yeah, so I call these the 4 phases of me. Because in the 4 phases of me, I always want to be able to initiate something. What am I starting? I always want to be starting something. And I said that yesterday, and it comes to mind again today. The Michael Jackson song, you got to be starting something. But yeah, what are you starting? Are you starting, like I said, reading a book? Are you starting a business? Are you starting a project? Are you the project that you're starting? Are you starting changing up some ways that you do things? How you operate in the earth, how you operate in the family, how you operate in your life, how you operate on the job? These are things that you can do, initiate, and be creative. So what are you starting? What are you beginning? We have creative ability. In the beginning, God says, let there be light. That's creative ability. He's given us creative ability also. So what are you starting? What are you beginning? What are you initiating? What door are you walking through? Sometimes you have to walk through a door, and at the same time you walk through a door, you leave a whole area behind you. Sometimes you can't coexist in one place and another place at the same time. In order for you to begin something else, you have to totally end one thing. And that's like the fourth area where I'm going to talk about. But the second is planning. As you're initiating, as you are beginning things, you have to plan it out. What is the plan of action? You have to count the cost. What am I going to win or lose? Count the cost. If it's going to be something where you're going to lose more than you gain, then maybe you should go back to the blueprint. Because we want to always be in a position where we can win, no matter what. Yeah, we always want to win. You know, and a healthy situation is a win-win for both parties. We both get something out of this. So while you're working on the project, make sure you're getting something out of it. Make sure you see what you're getting out of it. Because there's no need to be just being busy. You know, like with me and the weight loss, what I'm getting out of this is honestly, I'm getting a chance to enjoy the clothes that I already purchased. They're fitting me different. And that's what I'm getting out of it. So that's one of the things I'm getting out of it. I had this PRP shot in my knee yesterday, and I am amazed at how I feel today. Because when I got it in my left knee, I was like down. It was like, couldn't walk from one room to the next, but I'm stronger. And I'm so happy that I'm in a different position now. And I'm still recovering. But the fact is that each day that I'm living, I'm able to implement and do the exercises that's necessary to strengthen this leg. Because I've had this procedure yesterday. But count the cost. And anytime you start a project, there's going to have to be some sacrifice. There has to be some sacrifice. Because sometimes it requires you waking up early. Sometimes it requires you staying up late at night. Sometimes it requires you missing events. Sometimes it requires you to travel places you didn't intend to travel, or make stops where you didn't plan to stop. But you have to count the costs. What are the sacrifices that you are going to be making with this blueprint as you go forth to discipline yourself and to improve your behavior? And there also requires compromise. Compromise. How can I compromise so that we both can win? How can I compromise so that we both can get a benefit out of this? And since this is a project that you're working on yourself, how are you going to compromise? Okay, Brenda, you're trying to lose this weight, so you know you can't eat late at night every night. You can't, because that don't work for you. After a certain time, you're going to have to cut off the eating. Because other than that, it doesn't give my body a chance to go into fat burning mode. So I have to compromise. Okay, if I'm going to eat, and I do, truthfully I do, I like to get this big old waffle cone, put 2 scoops of butter pecan ice cream in there, some wet walnuts. I may have shared this before. Wet walnuts and let them drizzle the chocolate on it so it could get hard. And if I had breakfast that morning, that's dinner for me. I'll eat that during the day, and I've consumed all the calories, but I'm satisfied. I ate exactly what I wanted to eat. The binge is over. I got what I wanted. And I had to compromise. I had to leave a whole meal out in order to eat that whole ice cream. And it was worth it to me. It was worth it to me. So those are the things I do. If I want to eat a whole sleeve of Oreo cookies, in times past, I have. And truth be told, when I first started my weight loss journey a while back, sometimes I would get into those binge modes. I would be like, I want to eat a cookie, and I'm going to eat me some cookies. So I would get me a whole sleeve of Oreos. And I'm telling you, this happened twice. And I'm not foolish enough to think that it'll happen all the time. But in the same sense, I know that if I was eating that whole sleeve of Oreos, that I'm going to have to compromise and do without something. And every time, the 2 times, I've definitely 100%, 2 times I ate cookies as my binge, I got on the scale the next day and I lost 2 pounds. So I'm like, wait a minute here. This seems like no, but I'm not foolish enough to think that that's going to work all the time. Eating a whole sleeve of cookies. I would do it once in a while, but it satisfies my binge, my need to binge. So I don't have to deprive myself of everything. That's the compromise, you know? So the next step is what? So we do initiate, we make plans, and I think in even planning requires scheduling. That's why I said you may have to get up early or stay up late or in the middle of the day. You know, take a moment to improve on what? If you're trying to teach, I've been trying to learn Spanish ever since I've been in high school. And ¿cómo se llama? ¿Dónde vives tú? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can say some things. I can say some things in Spanish. But it's not a language that I'm able to just master yet. At some point, I hope to. But I think I always wanted to be bilingual. And I can say some words, but not enough for people. And I was on this social media, and this young boy, he wanted to challenge me on TikTok. And he didn't speak English, right? So I started throwing out, ¿cuántos años tienes tú? And he said he was 20. I'm like, you look like you're 12. Like, come on now. But I got a chance to utilize some of my Spanish. But I said that to say, yeah, it requires some scheduling. Maybe you can't just like go the whole day and you don't have time in the morning or at late at night. Maybe on your lunch break, you got 15 minutes out of there to do something self-help. Do something self-improving. Do something self-motivating. Do something self-stimulating. Something self. Do something self during that period of time. Even if it's sit back, close your eyes, and have a vision, have a dream, have a goal. Think of the next plan you're going to initiate. Think of the next project that you're going to start. And scheduling is important. It gives you also the ability to be able to see where you started. Remember I said we're either starting something in the middle of it or closing it out. So when you put down a date, schedule things, make sure you have a calendar that's, and this, I was able last year to find a 3-year calendar, which is the best thing in the world for me. Because every year having to get a new planner, and I'm a write it down type of person. So finding this 3-year planner, just that alone makes my life easier. Because I can look back and see, when I went to the doctor, when I started this weight loss journey, when I, began this or that or the other. Things, planning, scheduling, that matters. I think that it makes a successful completion to a project. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is you executing it. Okay, so now you initiated. I know what I'm going to do. I'm about to start this. Now I'm planning when I'm going to start it. I got it on the schedule, thinking about yourself. I want to, start going to the gym. Myself. I want to start going to the gym. I've been paying for this gym membership for years. And there are times I've gone to physical therapy, and I did it because after physical therapy, I always intend to continue with the work. And so I've always had the gym, and I've done it in past times, continue with the work so that I would continue to improve and not decline because I am getting older. So this membership has been going on, and I intended 2021 to go back to the gym. Then I got a physical setback again. So now I'm at the point where I have to redo some things. I'm feeling like once physical therapy is over now, because this is going to be my last round after this PRP shot I just got, I'm going to be able to go back in the gym. And while I'm in physical therapy, they teach me how to ride the bike. They teach me how to walk on the treadmill. So these are things that I had to learn again. I had to learn how to walk and enjoy a walk. There had been years that I would have to go to the store. I couldn't walk around the store to get toiletries, toothpaste, and tissues. I would sit in my car. Thank God for my sister. She would be the one that would go in the store. I would sit in the car. I don't care how long it take for her to do all the shopping that she was doing. But I would sit there patiently because I physically wasn't in the position to do it. But it's all a point of, progress. But I want, and when I got to the point where I was able to walk around and do my own, it was nice. It was nice being able to do that. So how are you going to execute it? You're going through starting it, you're planning it, you got it scheduled, execute, meaning that you're gonna make steps. You're taking steps. You're implementing the steps. Implement it. You have to begin to make moves. It's essential. Your plan is going to prosper. Your self-improvement, your behavior, your behavioral health is going to improve just because you are executing some changes. You're executing some changes. You're doing the darn thing. You're making the difference in your life. You're making the difference in your day. You're causing grace even to abound towards you. Because when you begin to do those things that are behaviorally healthy and you start taking care of yourself and you start tending to you so that you can continue to tend to others. I'm a helper. I'm the type of person, that was my first ministry in life, the ministry of helps. And I've never abandoned it. The ministry of helps is the most, I can find a niche anywhere and be able to help. I could sit over in the corner, and if somebody planning a wedding has been done before, they're doing well, I'll come in and I'll start, do you need me to do anything? Well, where can I be a help? Extra hands and extra feet? Even if you need me to fold up some napkins, I don't care. It don't matter how small it is. How can I be a help? Because this is behavioral health. Behavioral health means that you're healthy enough to be able to do something for somebody else. That's why executing self-help, self-improvement, self-discipline, self-structure. And don't get it twisted. I'm fat and I'm obese. And I shared with you that I'm fat. I know why I'm fat today. Because all my life I didn't know how to feed myself. I didn't know how important certain things was. Yeah, eating is important, But not waiting all day to eat and eat one large meal. That eating is important, but that's destructive. And I didn't even realize that's what I was doing to myself. As I said, something works. Something works. You have to find out what works for you. So as I was going through, I shared about the 6-week body makeover and, you know, all the knowledge I gained. And I felt like I couldn't do it because I can't live without eating, using salt in my food. So I know it wasn't like something that could be sustainable. And then even before that, I remember I worked at a prison, and we had Weight Watchers come to the site and be able to, you know, do a work site. Well, I don't remember what they call it, but it was a work site weight loss initiative. And the warden of the prison, and I don't want to say people's names, but the warden of the prison, you know, I'm a big girl. I'm paying for myself. But she offered to pay for me to go through this program. Weight loss. She was paying for my, you know, she wanted to see me lose weight, thankfully. I don't know. She was like, she's so fat. No. But she was a beautiful person, and I appreciated that. You know, that I was like, really? Yes, thank you. Very happy that she, you know, footed it for me. And I went. I never like missed meetings. And I remember going to the Weight Watchers meeting, and I wasn't losing any weight. I wasn't like having success. And it's because I was still, you know, eating the amount of points all at the end of the day is destructive to me too. Because I can pile them all up, you know. But the fact is that when I went to that session and they want you to succeed, she tell me, what do you do? And I explained to her, she says, the only thing I want you to do for this week is every day I want you to eat breakfast. So that's my execution. She told me what to do. I had to execute that. You know, yeah, that was how, there was a beginning. There was a plan, but I had to execute it. She says, every day, eat breakfast. And you want to know what? I executed it. Every day. And I wind up getting me some Thomas's whole wheat English muffin. And I wasn't used to eating breakfast. So all I did was make sure I love crunchy stuff. So toast was good. And whole wheat muffins was perfect for me, Thomas's, because white bread don't do my body too good. So I would toast that whole wheat muffin. I would put me some strawberry jelly and some butter on it, and that would be breakfast. And I did that for a whole week. And the thing about it is, after I ate that for breakfast, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours later, I wanted something else. That it was an insatiable hunger, ghrelin was kicking in. Me eating breakfast every day is what Weight Watchers taught me. Eating breakfast every day, it causes ghrelin. It causes your body to say, oh, she's giving us food. More's coming, so let us get rid of this. And then I start hungry. I start getting hungry. So I would grab something, whether it's banana, apple, whether it's a bag of snacks, just to feed the hungry. So I was constantly doing that, and all week long I did it. And I went back to weigh in that next week. 1 week, I lost 9 pounds in that 1 week. And what I did was I implemented eating breakfast. I executed it. Now, sustaining it is something I'm still doing to this day. I know in order for me to lose weight now, and that's what I'm doing now, I'm making sure that I have some breakfast. And many a days, I don't always do it because each day is different. But I do make sure that some food goes in my mouth. I do try. And that's helping me along this line to be able to move from where I am to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. You use what you can. Something works, and you have to find out what works for you and execute it. Execute it. Keep a check on you as you are conducting yourself. Always pay attention. Be a fly on your own wall. Be a fly on your own wall. Sometimes you have to stand outside of a situation to see how you acting in a situation. And in the heat of a moment, some people got real bad anger issues. Some people don't even know how to control their emotions. And I am going to do the next session, the emotional health. I'll touch on that there. But overall, keep a check on you as you are conducting yourself, because this allows you to be self-aware. Being self-aware. Be a fly on your own wall. Be self-aware. How did I act in that situation? Did I conduct myself properly? Would I have done anything differently? How can I do something differently? Should I apologize? Or am I owed an apology? Can I forgive them without them ever apologizing? And can I be able to move on? As people say, let go. Yeah. Yep. Be a fly on your own wall. Pay attention to your own behavior. And it should be something that you can be able to measure. You can measure your behavior. Keep a track of yourself. Now, I actually, and I'm reading from my notes, but I actually have the last step is closure. So we have initiate, plan, execute, and close. You need some closure somewhere. You have to say, I finished that. You have to be able to say, I completed that. You have to be able to feel the accomplishment of the project you start. You have to be proud. I'm a project. And my goal is to be proud of me. That's my goal, to be proud of me. And I am proud of me. Now, am I proud of me in every area? Because I'm still learning. I'm 57. I'm still learning a lot about myself. But I still want to always be in a position to say, okay, I can close that chapter right there and not need to move on any further. If I've been depriving myself over time, I can stop that. Stop depriving yourself. One thing over time I learned is that, compliments. People may give you compliments and you don't know how to receive them well. I was that type of person. Instead of just saying thank you, I would always say, oh, give a read. Oh, that dress is nice. Oh, instead of just saying thank you, I said, oh, I got this dress. Never saying thank you, not ungrateful, but not realizing that you don't even know how to accept a compliment. But I do know how to give a compliment. I know how to say, oh, you look great and you look nice and I'm very expressive. When I see something, I'll say, oh, that hairstyle looks nice, or oh, wow, is that. I don't know where I'm getting this dut from. I done picked up a dut. Yeah, but sometimes stuff needs some closure. And as you are starting the project, your project. As you are starting the project, because I know there's some areas in your life. I know there are. You might be excellent in that field. You might be number one. You might be at the top of your game when we're talking about that. But let us start talking about something else. And you probably have the least input because you may not have as much experience in that area. And you want to know that, hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because we all are in that place in some area. So we are going through a process of what? Development. And it has been a joy sharing with you today. I just want to make sure I have everything I wanted to say in this little session. It still took over half an hour. Now, during your closure, you want to give yourself a measurable deadline. When will this behavior end? You have to have a measurable deadline. You know, give yourself a time when you say, you know, enough is enough of this. And it's over at this point. I'm no longer going to gamble. I'm no longer going to lie. I'm no longer going to curse. I'm no longer going to, you know, beat myself up if you're changing behavior. If you feel like cursing curses, your mouth is between you and your God, that's up to you. You know, it's up to you. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to feel, what you want to feel. Yeah. Do what you want to do. Because each of us has somebody to answer to, so you don't have to answer to me. And I don't have to answer to you. But yeah, you should give yourself a measurable goal. You should be able to measure your progress. Am I progressing? You're starting something. You're in the middle of something. And at this point, there's going to need to be some closure. Hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it. And I'll get to the next one shortly. Have a great rest of your evening.